Today's daf is daf Yud Daled. We are going to begin by Omar Shmuel. Shmuel says, "My tamad rabban." What's the reason of the chacham will say the one can collect a choiv from property, even if it's a note that does not include a property guarantee? Sabri achrayis tell sefer. They hold that the fact that there's an omission of the property guarantee from the note is a toas sefer. It's a sefer's error, as one would certainly not lend money without a proper guarantee. The Shmuel say this, but he says in regards to enhancement, superior quality land, and a lien required you need required consultation. When a sefer writes a deed of sale for a field, he must ask the seller whether to write explicitly that if there's a lien on the field, and the field is then repossessed from the buyer. In which case, the seller would compensate the buyer for any enhancement of the value of the field that occurred while it was in his possession. And this compensation will be made from the superior quality land, and that he liens all of the land as security for the sale. This indicates that Shmuel holds that a property guarantee is not written in every note. So shall we say that the one who says this statement quoted in Shmuel does not say the statement quoted by Shmuel? Perhaps it's a machlekes between Amoraim who transmitted the statement of Shmuel. So where it says, Loi Kafshin. It's not a question. Though, here where Shmuel says that the omission of a property guarantee is an error, it was regards to a note. As a person does not give away his money for nothing. When one lends his money, he requires a property guarantee. There, by contrast, Shmuel said that a sefer must consult with the seller with regards to writing a property guarantees. With regards to the case of buying and selling, the Ovid Indish, the Zovan Arliyema, as a person is apt to purchase land for a day. It's conceivable that a buyer is willing to risk that there's a prior lien on the land, thinking that even if he owns the property only for one day, he can earn profit. As evidence of this distinction, the Gemara gives an example. It's like the incident in which Avu Bar Ila purchased a loft from his sister. Also, his creditor came and repossessed the loft from him. Also, look at Marshall. They came in front of Marshall to file a claim against his sister. He said, Shmuel, no. So Shmuel said to him, did she write a guarantee in the deed of the sale? Like, but in case, so Shmuel said, if so, go in peace, as there's nothing that can be done. He said to Shmuel, but you just said that's by star of lonia. But buying and selling, it doesn't work. Why? As a person is apt to purchase the land for the day. Bava says, Reuven who sold the field to Shimon with a property guarantee. And Reuven's creditor came and repossessed the field for Shimon as he had a prior lien on the property. So halacha that Reuven can go and litigate with the creditor, and the creditor cannot say to him, you have nothing to do with it. Because Reuven can say to the creditor, that which you take from him comes to me, comes back to me. Another people say, even without a price. Also, it's a grievance for me. It's not comfortable that Shimon has a grievance against me for selling in property that was subsequently repossessed. It says, Reuven sold Shimon without a property guarantee. We also was seeking and disputes disputing Reuven's prior ownership with the field. Actually, if support, as long as Shimon did not take yet possession of it, he can withdraw if Shachin is not required by the land. She says, well, once he has taken possession of the land, he cannot withdraw. As Reuven could say to him, the purchase of the land was like purchasing a tied sack whose content is unknown and might not be worth anything. So since you were aware of the chazaka from when they take possessions, from when he walks to the borders of the land. Show me your document about authorization to repossess it, I will pay you. If a person sells a field to another and it's found that it's not his field, Rav says that the buyer has the right to be repaid the money that he paid for the field, and he also has the right to compensation for the enhancement of other value. When it appears for this, where it's the halacha specified that a buyer would receive payment for the enhancement to the field in the event that the field is taken by the rightful owner. Time the Shmuel Mishum Blake Pirish. Do we see the reason of Shmuel is because the seller did not specify that the buyer received enhancement? But here in this case he did specify it. What time of the Shmuel? What do we say? The reason of Shmuel, the less they karka, since there's no karka, and mifsi kiribis l'say libris. While who in v'lav, he says appears to be interest, v'raf to be day, and no, the matter was unclear to him. Itmar Amar Nachbar Shmuel Moisir Shlei. He has the right to the money. Alpha Bish appears to Sashadov, but he does not have the right to the enhancement, even if the seller specified the deed. By the time he came to the karka, it seems to his own karkas, karma esab emid benethel. The buyer appears to be standing and taking payment for the right to use his money. One cannot appropriate lien property for consuming produce with a shvach karkois or enhancement of the land, or the sustenance of man's wife and his daughters after the death. So where it says, indicates that we do not appropriate a lien property for these purposes. But we do appropriate for mapkina and also property. In any event, it's taught in the Mishnah that one of these purposes is for the enhancement of the land. My lab megazan. We're not referring to a case where one purchases a field from a robber. We're talking about a creditor. One cannot appropriate for consuming produce. And if, for reference to the case of a creditor, does the creditor have the right to appropriate produce from a buyer? Where Shmuel says, Baal gave us a shevach. Creditor collects the value of the enhancement. Shevach and I'll pay us late. Although rather talking about referring to a case of a robber who stole the field and sold it to the robbery victim, and from the fact that the first clause is referring to robber and the robbery victim, Sefer Nami is talking about begezel be'nixel. Where I said, how could these? Each one is by itself. But this was not taught this way. The Shavach HaKohes Gate said, when robbed another of a field and it's appropriated by the court, it's appropriated by the court for his possession. Shu Geva. When he collects the payment, he collects the principal from the lien property for Shavach, and he collects the enhancement from the unsold property. If we say that in the case top of the Brisa, who does the robbery collects? And the lav must be contained for referring to a case where one robbed another of the field and sold to another person, to a third party, and third party invested in a vishbichet. Did he not explain by adding information? Talking about creditor. What is the case for consuming produce? When he robbed another of a field and is appropriate from his possession. When he collects the payment, he collects the principal from lien property. Prepares and he collects the produce from unsold property. Must be he sold to another and the third party enhanced it. He stole a field of produce from another. Malay appears, was consumed. Vachas appears and he dug appears. Vachavas appears, Vishikhan appears. Bodies of Libris Karen gave him the Chasm Shvatam. Bodies of Libris Karen gave him the Chasm Dechin. For example, Shutul Masikin, a Gentile thugs took the field from the robbery by force due to previous dealings with them. Bodies of Libris Karen. And in that case, when the robbery victim comes to collect the principal, gave him the Chasm Shvatam. He collects from the lien property. Bodies of Gabi Peters. And when the robbery victim comes to collect payment of the produce, even the chasam nechedin, it collects only from unsold property. Rabbi Amar Lemer Kanabra Ravona Ariyitzim Tachzadeh B'din Mashma is talking about legally. Rabbi Amar Lemer Kanabra Ariyitzim Tachzadeh B'din Mashma that we need indicates that unaltered form and it was not damaged.